What's up, gamers? And today we're going to be talking about whether you should or should not be summoning for Yanagi. Now, you're going to notice I'm wearing a different shirt now. That's because I originally recorded this video with a comparison between Bernice and her, but it ended up being over 40 minutes long. I'm not trying to make you sit through the app, so I'm just going to be dividing this up into two separate videos. This video will be second, the other video will be first, but it allows me to cut out a lot more yap. You guys don't give a fuck. Here's the video. So guys, let's go ahead and just start off here with Miss Yanagi. Look at this cute little face we made for her. Isn't it so cute? Isn't it so demeaning? Isn't it so demure? That was the cringiest shit I think I have ever said in my life. I am so sorry. But we're going to be breaking Yanagi down into four simple things of what she do, okay? What does Yanagi do, right? Number one, first of all, guys, she is doing disorder, right? So that's the main thing she's doing, which is basically whenever you're building up two different types of anomaly on the enemy, you hit both of those off, you're basically getting a third proc off. Let's go ahead and use a good in-game example of what we currently have of this. So let's take Bernice and Yanagi, for example, right? Bernice will be proccing off a burn anomaly on the enemy while she is going to be shocking the enemy, right? But whenever you can do this at the same time, whenever both of these get procced off at the same time, you'll actually be activating something else, guys, which is your disorder. And this is another buff, or I guess another type of damage you're getting on the enemy. So not only are you getting this burn, not only are you getting the shock, you're getting this order as well, which is going to be stunning the enemy, doing a lot of damage. And then on top of this, there's doing a lot of damage to their daze meter as well. I don't know if I already said that, but yeah, there's going to be doing a lot of damage to the daze meter as well. So having Yanagi on a team with different type units is very beneficial, and she's going to be bringing this up to the absolute max. So I'm taking a look at something like her core passive right here, guys. Whenever Yanagi activates her EX build, the damage multiplier of a disorder is increased by 250. Whenever a squad member is going to be applying a disorder effect on an enemy, so this is basically taking that damage number that you're getting from the disorder that you would normally do and multiplying it by 250. So an absolutely massive damage bonus to disorder. Something else she does go is actually something called polar disorder as well. I'm just going to put polar dis here. It works very similar to how the original disorder proc works, but it's going to be doing something more special. First of all, it's reducing damage, right? It's reducing the damage you're doing on the target. So we can just put red damage here because it's going to be reducing your damage. But there is a trade-off with the reduced damage. The reason you're getting reduced damage is because of the fact you're able to have two shock characters on the same team. So let's say you have a Grace and a whatever, Yanagi on the same team, right? You're able to take both of those shocked and then still get a type of disorder off on the enemy. So you're able to get both of those procs off using the same type of damage or anomaly proc you'll be putting on the enemy. So that is going to be super nice there. And now, what else did she do, right? She's more of a main DPS, so you're mainly having her out on the field at all times. So let's just put main DPS here. I do think with how her core passive here is worded, after using your EX special attack, how it increases the amount of anomaly that you're able to do for 15 seconds, it does actually make her viable in a sub DPS sense. We'll talk about that later in the video, but I do want to note that she's a main DPS, so she's going to have a lot of on-field time. So that means she's not like Bernice in a sense where you come in, hit EX special attack to just get your nitro fuel state up and then swap to your other DPS and then start doing damage, and then they're taking fire procs when she's off the field. She mainly needs to be on the field, right? Because with her, you have to have her on the field to actually build up the electric proc on the enemy. And that kind of leads us into our next point here, which is she's an electric anomaly character, right? So we kind of mentioned this in the other points here, main DPS electric and also the disorder buff here. She is electric. So you realistically want to be playing her with other characters that aren't necessarily electric, because you can still get this polarity disorder proc on the enemy while still getting disorder. So that's just more damage. If you can actually proc off disorder, you're still getting this off anyway. So you really want to be pushing to not have another electric character on the team if you don't have to. Not saying that it's not viable to do that. You're just going to see better returns if you run different type of units on the team. So this kind of leads us into our pro and con section here, right, guys? She needs anomaly characters. So she's going to be needing characters like Bernice, which I think is going to be her best in slot here, guys. Bernice, very, very good for her. I think hands down the best in slot option you can currently have on her right now, because what does Bernice do? She is a sub DPS, but she's also going to be offering a lot of off-field anomaly, right? So while she's off the field, she's able to put fire procs off on the enemy, which is just super, super nice. Really allows her to play that main DPS role very, very nice, because you're building up the fire proc while you're building up electricity proc versus if you maybe didn't have them on the team, right? Let's say you ran on a team with someone like Piper and Yanagi. Right now, the reason I bring up Piper is because I do think Piper could be a decent matchup for her. The reason I say that is because of how her core passive actually is going to be working, because it lasts for 15 seconds after using your EX special. So if you're not necessarily getting off the anomaly proc with the EX special attack, then that means you have even less time with the character coming to the field, and you want someone that can proc anomaly fast, and Piper can do that with her little spin to win move, right? So that's why I think that she could be good here, right? But the reason why I say it's maybe not as efficient as someone like a Bernice is because what you're going to be having to do, right, is your Yanagi's going to have to be on the field first, right? So your Yanagi's on the field, she hits an EX special attack, right? So let's just do EX special attack. Then after hitting that EX special attack and hitting that shock proc off on the enemy, within that time frame that shock procs on the enemy, you're going to be needing to switch over to Piper and then using her EX special as well now, because she's going to have to come on the field, hold down her EX special, and then also get her anomaly proc off as well, right? But if you're able to get this anomaly proc off on the enemy, guys, that's where the third play comes into hand at here, guys, where third would be disorder. Now, the reason why this is not as effective is because of the fact that you're having to swap in and out the field, you're having to time stuff up more, whereas with someone like a Bernice, there is practically no timing involved because you're getting fire proc off all the time with someone like Bernice, right? And yeah, I guess this could be vice versa as well, which I guess is what you would realistically want to do, right? You would want Piper to proc off the assault proc first, and then you would want Yanagi to come in the field, because the main thing with Yanagi is getting that extra polarity debuff off as well, the polarity disorder that you're getting. So you would realistically want Piper to come in, proc, and then Yanagi come in and get that other proc off, but then like I said, you're still fighting against a clock for that anomaly proc, and I don't think there's really anything you can run the team right now per se to get you within that time frame of actually proccing that off. Not to say that it can't happen, but I'm just saying things overall just have to be timed more when you're using other types of anomaly characters in the team. So just as a detractor here, we're just going to put more timing involved, right? Now, the next thing we're going to talk about applies directly to your account, guys. If you do not have a lot of anomaly characters built up on your account, or you don't have a Grace, maybe you haven't built up Piper, maybe you don't want to build up Piper, right? I just don't think Yanagi is the pull for you, right? Like, I think that she does offer a lot of value in terms of future-proof ability, but I don't think if you're planning to build anomaly characters up, she is just not the pull for you guys. Like, she really relies on getting that disorder debuff off, because realistically, guys, you need a fast anomaly build up so you're actually able to get off her disorder debuffs in time, right? So if you're not running her on an anomaly-based team, you're not getting those anomaly procs off fast enough, then she realistically doesn't have that much inherent value for your account, because she solely, I guess for the most part, relies on getting that disorder buff or disorder proc off on the enemy. Now, to the moment you've been waiting for, should you pull or should you not pull for Yanagi? I don't think you should pull if you don't plan on building up for anomaly characters. That should be known. I don't think she is going to work as good right now in the game if you don't have Bernice. I think she might seem a little bit lackluster in terms of that right now. So, I mean, I don't think the game is fully built out for her at this current moment. So I think she is much more a character you're pulling for to invest in the future for. So that's my advice to you. If you want to invest for the future, if you like the anomaly, I think you should pull for her. If not, I think she's a pretty easy skip, if I'm being honest with you guys. Are you going to be pulling Yanagi? Are you going to be skipping Yanagi? Let me know in the comment section down below. Was this video absolute copium? Did you have absolute brain rot while watching it? If you did, hit that subscribe button, because I'll be filling your head with more brain rot in the future, and I'll be trying to reply to your comments. So, yep, I'm done yapping now. I've been recording for 45 minutes, and I have work at 6 in the morning. I have to get up in 4 hours, so... Pog. See you guys later. Bye.